Weather Whiz Kid time.
Yeah, let's check in with Scott, see what the latest great questions are.
Well, this week at Hubbard Elementary, we were talking about weather and how it relates to the oceans. They're studying oceanography as well. So today's question it's a good question. Haven't had this one yet.
Hello, my name is Xane. I go to Hubbard Elementary, and then my question is, how does the weather affect the fish?
My name is Riley Borge, and I go to Hubbard Elementary, and my question is, how does the weather affect the animals in the sea?
Great questions. How does weather affect the animals in the sea? So I did a little bit of research on this, and I figured, okay, well, let's take a look at the strongest weather we can get over the ocean. And, of course, it's this guy right here, the hurricane. And the most powerful part of the hurricane is the eye wall. Here's the eye, where winds are fairly light in the middle here and sometimes close to calm, just a few miles an hour. But here, winds can be running anywhere from 74 miles per hour to almost 200 miles an hour, the strongest of all hurricanes. And so when you have the circulation going around, it's also the strong winds touching the water and that friction building those huge waves up. We're stirring up the ocean, and there's a layer of water that's swirling with it. So how would that be affecting the animals, the sea animals below? Now remember, in the deepest parts of the ocean, it's only about 150 feet of water that's really affected at most by the hurricane, usually a little less than that. And so down below that, almost no effects whatsoever, but you're going to get a turbulence in that water that can affect us as we get closer to shore, especially around coral reefs. There's some issues there because you're going to start tearing up the beach erosion will start to occur, and you start taking the habitats of some of the ocean life, the sea life, and it starts to cause some issues. So this is the way a structure of a hurricane looks. You have all kinds of thunderstorms here. You get torrential rain, so as they come close to the shoreline, that's when you create any issues. For instance, this island here, this is all coral reefs. If a hurricane goes over this, and again, those shallow waters just blast right over there, you start to churn up all of this and affect the sea life here, which of course has some major effects of everything that's happening just under the water. So a hurricane needs warm water to survive, and that's why some hurricanes weaken if they get too strong. They start to weaken because the layer of water is really warm at the top, and it starts to upwell, cool the water from down below, which will actually cause the hurricane to weaken just a little bit. But again, you need about 150 feet of water. You get out into the deep ocean, the fish are saying, "What hurricane? I didn't feel that."
You kind of look like you're in a fishbowl right there.
I feel like Nemo and Dory going by.
I'm holding my breath. Hurry up.
Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Scott.